Can you tell me a little bit about the NHL draft process and what it's been like?
Yeah, it's honestly a dream growing up from being a little kid. So it's like once you have that first NHL team reach out, it's like super exciting. You're super pumped. It's like, wow, I can't believe I made it this far. But yeah, it's just a cool and awesome experience going through it throughout the year.
Hmm.
Multiple teams just keep reaching out to you. They want to interview you and just mostly want to learn more about you.
Yeah,
So
totally get that. That's pretty cool. Is there like specific teams that have been reaching out to you more, or is it just like one at a time, like one team wants one meeting, or have there been multiple meetings with specific teams? Not, you don't have to give me the teams, just like has there been?
mostly I've met with like one team at a time and then
Okay.
but they've
All right.
they've told me like after the season we're gonna meet up with you again. So leading up to the draft and the combine, they're gonna start talking to me more.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And so we'll get into more of the hockey questions. Like, what do you believe is your biggest strength on the ice right now?
I would say my defense.
What's your favorite part about the game?
Just the competitive aspect, being able to go against different players from all over the country, around the world too, is just
Yeah.
awesome.
Is there a specific player that comes to mind when you think that's the best player I've ever played against?
Matthew Schaefer, definitely.
Okay, nice, nice.
Yep.
I
At
got
home.
to interview at home.
No,
Is that what you
when
said?
I was at home Lincoln this summer playing
Oh,
against.
okay, yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about his game?
Yeah, he's a two-way defenseman. He's really fast. He's a speedster, obviously, and he just has poise with the puck and always makes the right decision.
Yeah, that's awesome. He was one of my first interviews of this class, and every single time he made me laugh. He's
Yeah.
a terrible singer. He kept saying that. So we'll start there. Are you a karaoke guy? Do you have a specific song that you sing if you have to do karaoke?
I did Party in the USA last year for my rookie idol. I'm not the best singer. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then I've done like a couple, I've been shoe checked a couple times at some meals. Yeah, I'm not the best singer though.
Yeah. What's like the weirdest music that you listen to? What is that word? What is your guilty pleasure song?
I actually started to get into music a little bit more, I think. Lush Life. That
Okay.
that is actually a song that's pretty good.
Who sings that? I'm not familiar.
Let me look. I don't really know the artist. I just know it's Lush Life. Can you still see me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Zara Larson.
Can you build your perfect defenseman from hockey IQ, skating, shot, and physicality?
Definitely got to do skating. Petrangelo, I would say defense. Quinn Hughes, playmaking.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Shea Weber, slap shot. There
Oh
we go.
yeah, nice. That's awesome. His was it like 108 miles per hour or something?
Yeah, it was
That was
insane.
crazy.
Where's Chara? Think didn't he set the record for like 109?
He might have, honestly. I know for physicality, he's like 6'7",
Oh.
so yeah, those are some pretty good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And a question from Sebastian High from Elite Prospects. I
Mm-hmm.
told him that we're friends, so I told him I was interviewing you today, and he asked a question, how have you built up your retrieval game? It's one of the best among D in this class. Like what drills, tips, or habits uh have you used to formulate that area of the game in the past 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, working with my coaches from Spring Lake Park and now to Lincoln with our D coach Art Bray,
Hmm.
we did a lot of retrievals in our skills, making sure you get the two shoulder checks. Because we always say
Yeah.
you can try to get one, but if you can get two, it increases the retrieval rate by like 50%. Yeah, just
Well,
get your shoulder check so then you can see everything behind you.
I didn't know that, so that's good to know. I'm not making the NHL, so I might not use that, but I'll tell some
Yeah.
prospect. So what are things that you need to work on before making the jump to the NCAA, you think?
I would say something I'm trying to work on right now is walking the blue line and getting my shots through. And then obviously getting stronger before I go in next year. So the summer's going to be huge for my strength.
Um, what are some drills that you would have to do to learn how to like better your walk the blue line game or trying to get those shots through without them being blocked or anything like that?
Just doing reps at the either before practice or after practice,
Hmm.
just having someone pass you the puck and just walking, doing fakes at the blue line, but keeping it simple. Because I'm not a guy that's going to be super flashy or anything, but yeah.
Is there anybody that in the NHL you watch that walks the blue line really well?
Obviously, you can watch like Kale McCarr, but I'm not going to be a
Yeah.
player like that. Try to watch Brady Shea on Nashville a little bit.
Who's your NHL player comparison for yourself?
Yeah, Brady Shea on
Okay,
Nashville, I would say we both are pretty similar.
that's awesome. Whenever I was watching like Duncan Keith back in the Blackhawks days, he would just walk the line like tippy toe on the skates. It was incredible to watch. So that's why I asked that. Um, if you could borrow one skill from any NHL player, past or present, what would it be? Like the best skill you think that would enhance your game?
I would say Char's toughness, and
Hmm.
I would say that his physicality and toughness, having guys come in his corner, I would be scared to go in his corner, honestly, that you obviously want. So I'd say that.
Are you more of a chirper in games or you stay quiet?
I stay quiet, but yeah.
What was the best time you like ever dropped the gloves where you were like, I got him? Was there like a specific fight that you go back to?
Yeah, I had my first fight this year against Sioux City. That was pretty fun being able to drop the gloves for the first time. It's like
Yeah.
you drop them and you don't really feel anything. You're swinging, so it's like yeah, it's awesome.
The adrenaline was up.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you remember who it was against?
Liam Hopka.
I'll have to look up that fight. I actually did not know that. This is a Kobe Bryant question, but do you hate losing more than you love winning?
I would say I hate losing more than I just every time you lose, it's like what could you do better? And then yeah, not the greatest feeling.
What was the best win you've ever had in or any sports?
Well, the best win was this year in Madison. We were away and we won the Anderson Cup. That was awesome.
That's awesome. If you win gold or something like that, would you wear it around all the time? Are you showing it off with any medals or anything like that?
I don't know if I would wear it around. You see those Olympians that go through the airport with it on like through the
Yeah.
thing. I feel like that would be pretty sick, but I'm not someone that's just going to be wearing it around though. It's definitely
Don't
like a
take it to, yeah, don't take it to Chipotle or anything like that.
yeah,
Totally get that. Outside of hockey, what's one thing you're ultra competitive about?
pretty competitive about pickleball. It's competitive
Pickleball?
here.
Okay.
Yeah, over the past couple of years, pickleball has been, I feel like on our team and in hockey, everyone's been getting into it more. It's been pretty awesome. And then obviously, you never like to lose.
Yeah. Are you more of a singles or doubles player?
We usually run doubles just because of the
Mhm.
amount of guys, but I would say because of my reach, I have a advantage if we did play singles.
That is true. I was actually going to say that. So, do you have like a pickles partner that you play with on your team?
At the start, I, it's changed this year, but last year it was Blake Montgomery. He
Hmm.
went to London. We used to be partners, but now it's kind of we just rotate. Like last time I was with Daniel Schlain, we did pretty good together. So I feel like that's gonna stick.
That's awesome. What's your perfect 5-year plan on and off the ice?
On the ice, I would say obviously go to Minnesota for 3 years and then make it to the AHL and then hopefully NHL at the end of the 5 years. But that happens a little bit after that. I'd be cool with that. Off the ice, it's kind of the same thing as on the ice, but yeah, obviously, making sure I get my education at University of Minnesota and then just keep working hard to make it to the NHL. Then keeping building relationships with new teammates and new friends.
After a long, successful NHL career, would you rather be a GM or a coach, or would you not really want to stay into hockey?
I'd want to be a coach. I've actually
Okay.
thought about that. If I didn't make it to the NHL, I'd either want to stay in, be a coach, or I'm into sales too. I'd want to be like a sales. Some.
That's awesome. I was a finance major, or I graduated with a finance BA, so I did that finance route for a little bit. I liked it; it was cool, but the NHL, or I love hockey, so
Yeah.
um, how do you mentally prepare for a big game?
I usually like mentally I try to visualize. I
Mhm.
usually sit on the bench and look at the ice, just visualize plays going on, visualize what I would be doing out on the ice. And I feel like that's something over the past couple of years that's helped me on the ice.
Do you meditate or anything like that? Breathing techniques too, along with that?
I wouldn't really say I do any breathing techniques, but I've definitely thought about that. Sometimes I do that because with our coaches, sometimes we do like some breathing, and I'll say I do it sometimes before a game, but not too much.
That's cool about the visualization. I've heard a lot of players say that, so that's really cool that you guys are doing that. Speaking of Golden Gophers in Minnesota, did you watch Sam Renzel play this year? I know he was a big, tall, and Blackhawks draft pick, but he was a big and tall defenseman for the Gophers. So did you watch him play?
When I could, I would watch him. I would try
Yeah.
to watch their games. Like when they were in the NCAA tournament, I would be watching him when he's out there. But during the year, we both play on Friday, Saturday, so it'd be hard.
Hmm.
But I would try to go in and watch the highlights after the games. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about his game?
Yeah, I would say everyone's looking at him and you think that he's just shut down defenseman because he's big, but
Yeah.
he's an offensive defenseman. Like he can his skill set is unbelievable. So
Yeah, he played really well in the NHL. So he was the best Blackhawks defenseman for like 5 games. So that was kind of crazy. So are you chess or checkers, or what is your go-to childhood game growing up?
good game. It's a good question. Should be like a board game.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like my family would always do like Game of Life or
Mm.
Monopoly. My dad would always end up winning somehow. But yeah, Monopoly or Life.
Was he the bank when he played?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He just somehow won every time. Like we would change the banker up and he would still end up winning. So it was like, I don't know.
I love Monopoly, so that's awesome. Do you play Fortnite, and what's your favorite place to drop in Fortnite?
Yeah, I definitely played for it. I haven't played too much this year, but yeah, past couple years definitely been on that game a lot.
Yeah.
I would say when they brought back like the OG map, I would say
Hmm.
dropping like Salty Springs.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. I was a salty and pleasant guy, so
Oh
I
yeah.
ask I ask all prospects that, and it's really funny because they love that question. So
Mhm.
I just always added it in now to my routine. But yeah, I always thought that was funny. What's something your teammates know about you that fans probably don't?
About me, I like to fish. Don't do it
Okay,
too much, but I like to fish. And then I grew up playing baseball, soccer, football, multi sports. And I have two brothers. I have an older brother who's 20, and I have a younger brother who's 10 or 11 now. Actually, he just turned 11.
nice. Does your younger brother play hockey?
Yes, he's following in my footsteps. He plays hockey, baseball, and soccer right now.
Nice.
So hopefully he can get to where I am.
Hopefully, I talk to him one day.
Yep.
When in that. But did you ever play basketball? I mean, you're 6'6", so
Oh
it could
yeah,
have been.
I did like a 3v3 league, and I would go to like the Spring Lake Park high school like basketball camps growing up, and yeah, so
That's awesome. What other than hockey was your best sport? Baseball,
baseball.
you think?
Baseball was my second. All my friends played that also played hockey. I would say I was pretty good at it, but I mostly just played it to be with my friends.
Did you
Yeah,
pitch or
I was
bat?
pitcher and first base.
Okay. Okay, nice. Dual threat. Otani. Yeah. What's something still on your bucket list that you haven't done but want to?
That's a good question. There's a lot of things. It'd be skydiving, but I don't know if I would have enough courage to do that.
Yeah.
That'd be so scary, personally. But skydiving or again, like a hole in one in golf, that'd be pretty sick.
Okay. That's sick. You get a plaque too
Yeah.
at some clubs. The most answered question on that has actually been skydiving. And every single prospect I say is like, wait till your second or third contract.
Yeah.
But like, that's just a joke. But skydiving is scary. Like, they tell me to do it too. And I'm like, I can't jump like 10 feet on a trampoline. There's no way I can do that.
I don't know if I could get the courage. I would have to be like strapped to one of those guys, and the guys
Yeah.
have to like jump out. Yeah.
Would there be a specific place you would want to do it? Like Dubai, I've gotten answers, or yeah, like Dubai or something like
I
that.
feel like, yeah, Dubai or like New York City, just
Okay.
be down with the city in the background. I think that would be pretty sick.
That's awesome. And who is your like favorite team of all time in any sport? It could be hockey, it could be
It'd
like
be the
football, baseball.
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks,
Yeah,
nice.
my dad, again, growing
Heck
up
yeah.
in Illinois, I always grew up watching Jonathan Tays, Brent Seabrook, Duncan Keith, and they were really good growing up. They won what, three Stanley Cups,
Yep.
what 2010, 2013, then 2015.
Yep.
So watching them, that was awesome.
That's awesome. I have a big Blackhawks following on like Twitter
Oh
or
yeah,
X now. So I might clip that for them, put your highlights on there, and then they'll get
oh,
a kick out of that.
that's
Because the
perfect.
Blackhawks are always drafting Minnesota Gophers. So when
Yeah.
I have been on shows or radio shows for Chicago, I've actually mentioned your name quite a few times, like
Oh,
because
so,
I'm like, you got to think about who the Blackhawks have been watching. And I was like, yeah, him. I've said you, Macy Phillips as well.
oh
I know
yeah,
you guys are going to be there too. So I think it would be awesome if if they drafted you.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to cut all that, but it's not in the article. But I think that's awesome that you're a Blackhawks fan. So where do you see um like personal milestones in your career? Like, how would you want to be remembered? Is there anything that you'd want to cross off your hockey bucket list?
Obviously, winning the Stanley Cup, that would be the biggest one.
Yeah,
Obviously, it's a dream of yours growing up. It's like just one thing you want to win the Stanley Cup, hoist the cup over your head. So that'd be awesome.
what does your day with the cup look like?
I haven't actually thought about that, but definitely bring it back home to Spring Lake Park and Blaine. But to all my bring it to like my high school, bring it to my
Hmm.
high school team, bring it to Lincoln back here. I don't know. I haven't really thought
Nice.
about it, but maybe have
Yeah.
like a big bowl of ice cream out of it.
For golfers, I've heard like put a couple balls in there,
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty sick.
or hold your ball on the golf cart or something. But eating
Yeah.
some ice cream out of it would be awesome. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Some people are gonna laugh at my bills if they end up seeing this, but it's like raspberry, like chocolate chip.
Okay, okay. I actually love. It was like purple. I think it is raspberry. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So I used to get that when I would go to Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin, when I would visit. They had like this place out there, and that is actually such a good flavor, as well as
I know.
orange, like orange creamsicle chocolate chip. Like I don't know what they do to it, but that's a
It's
really good
awesome.
answer. That's awesome that you said
Yeah, my
that.
bills, if they end up seeing this, they're gonna be laughing at it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Do they chirp you all the time when you get that ice cream at
Yeah, because
shops
we
and
end
stuff?
up going to like Culver's sometimes and then
Mm,
ice cream, and I always end up getting that. It's kind of funny.
I love Culver's. The cheese curds are incredible there. We're basically the same, except you're 6'6" and an NHL prospect.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But what are some like long-term goals outside of the ring that you have?
Outside of the rink, it would probably be start a family someday. So I want to have a couple kids. Want them to someday either follow my footsteps in playing sports or
Yeah,
they want to do. Yeah.
it's a great answer. Great answer. You're PR trained. Okay, if you could give one piece of advice to your younger self about the hockey journey, what would it be?
I would say enjoy the process and just keep working. Even in the mornings where you don't want to, just
Hmm.
do it because those little things will help.
What would you tell your fans and supporters?
Yeah, just thank you for all the support. Keep
Yeah.
supporting me over the next couple of years on my journey, hopefully to the NHL someday. And yeah, thank you.
Helping the Blackhawks win a Stanley Cup,
Yeah.
hoisting that 34 pounds cup up.
Oh yeah.
When was the first time you signed an autograph? Do you remember?
I think it was like I think it was like high school. It was
Okay,
like my 10th grade year, and the youth teams would come to our high school games and they would want our autographs. So that was my first time.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you have it down or did you have to change it up since then?
I've changed it a little bit. I've changed like the J, but I've always done like JKR and then my number.
What would be your preferred number in the NHL?
I would say 5.
Oh, okay, cool. That's
Yeah.
a good number. And what do you believe has been your biggest, like, I'll answer or ask this question again. How have you grown the most since you started your junior hockey career?
I would say just in my hockey IQ. Obviously going from playing high school to juniors, there's all the little details that you need to like figure out. You need to like master, like on the
Mhm.
retrievals, getting 2 shoulder checks, making sure you get those, all the different systems that you run, like the neutral zone, the forechecks, just figuring all of that out.
Awesome. What, like you said, the two shoulder checks with the puck retrievals, is there something that has also been like an aha moment for you where it's like, or like a coach or a player was like, you have to try to do this and it like changed your game? Like, do you see that in other areas of your
Yeah,
game?
just keeping it simple. Like I'm a player that I've talked with my coaches, and obviously I'm
Mhm.
not a player that's going to try to overdo it, not going to like dance through an entire team, but just keeping it simple and moving it up to the forwards. I would say is a big part of my game.
Like, how would you describe your game, or how do you think scouts of other teams, like, what would they say about you on the scouting report?
I would say he's a two-way defenseman that's defense first, a guy that moves the puck ups to the forwards, and then joins the rush as a second wave.
You've been great. This has been awesome. You've been generous with your time, so I appreciate all of that. I just have a couple more questions. Like, is there something that you're passionate about that you have wanted to talk about in an interview, but don't think that you've had the question, something about your game that stands out to you that you haven't been asked? Like, something that you can just like run with to
Hmm.
talk about your game.
I don't really think I know everyone talks about my defense, so
Mhm.
I would say that's a biggest part of my game is my defense and just my shutdown ability, shutting down other teams' top players. So no, I haven't really had any like questions that haven't really needed to answer.
And what's one part of your game that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but you think impacts the game a ton?
I would say we talked about this earlier, breakouts and retrievals. Those are big parts of the game. Just getting the puck out of your zone, and that ends up leading to more offensive time, which ends up leading to the points. But
Yeah.
obviously you don't always end up on the score sheet. That's not really the biggest thing I'm focused on anyways, but yeah, I would say the retrievals. And
And if you were building your perfect pair, like you alongside someone else to maximize your full potential, who do you think in the NHL, past or present, you would pick?
Let's say a little more defensive. I would say probably Kill McCarr or Lane Hudson, someone to bring like
Yeah.
more of offense. I feel like that would be a pretty good pairing.
Speaking of Lane Hudson, who do you think is the best player in the NHL 23 or under right now?
That's a really good question. I would say like Macklin Celebrini, he's
Yeah,
obviously stepped up this year, but I got to go with Connor Bedard, obviously.
nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about Connor Bedard's game?
His shot, first off, is just unbelievable. I didn't really think he was like obviously he's not really known for his skating, but well, I got to see him in person last year play against the Flyers, and yeah, he can wheel. So
Yeah,
he's an offensive threat. Wow, it's crazy.
that's awesome. What was the best interview you've ever been on?
I'd say I've been doing pretty good on this one. I
Nice,
don't really
nice.
know, but I would say,
Heck yeah, I agree. You've been fantastic.
and I've enjoyed this one too, so it's been
That's
pretty.
awesome. Thank you. That's huge to me. So, yeah, thank you so much for coming on, and this has been fantastic. So, I hope you the best of your hockey journey. And yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for reaching out to me and having me get on this and do an interview. That's awesome.